Do you like Fortnite or the Battle Royale genre in general, kind of like I do? Then you'll love the game I'm covering today. It's a mix between Overwatch, Black Ops 4 with a little bit of PUBG thrown right in. Now I'm of course talking about the new Apex Legends, the new Battle Royale game released by Respawn Studios, the same company behind the Titanfall series. Let's get right into what may very well be my new favorite Battle Royale game. If you're new, I'm Sons of the Abyss Gaming. Welcome to my channel. Here's a little fact about myself. The hero shooter genre such as Overwatch, Paladins, and Battleborn, and many more are actually one of my favorite types of games to play. And that aspect, though limited, is done very well in Apex Legends. Now I'm going to talk about the good as well as the bad in my first impressions of the game. But first I want to start with one of the best aspects of Apex, and that would be the visuals. Now the graphics of Apex is a more unique style. It's more artistic. It's a mix between a realistic look and a fantasy overall feel, and is one of the strong points of the game. If I was to compare it to something, I would say it has a very Call of Duty look as far as the world and gunplay goes, and more of a Battleborn or Overwatch type of style when it comes to character design and ability design. Now speaking of the world of Apex, let's talk about how diverse this place actually is. Okay, so Apex only has one map right now, which I hope that will change soon. But we refer to this place as Kings Canyon, and it is filled with a vast amount of varied landscapes and buildings. Now, one of my favorite places are the military bunkers. They are filled with high-quality loot and just very good choke points, and overall, it's a good place to go rest and plan your next move. Then there are the vast canyon-like environments that are perfect for sniping and finding a good vantage point, as well as taking screenshots. Then there are also the many unique cities that are scattered all around. A lot of these places are very popular to land at, so if you plan to land at one or approach one in general, be very prepared. Then you also have a biome that consists of burning trees and land. I like to call this place the volcanic area, even though it's not an actual volcanic area. That's not even half of the locations you can go to, though. Overall, Kings Canyon has a futuristic feel with an apocalyptic vibe. This map is full of character, and it's just fun exploring all the different biomes. I honestly didn't expect this much detail in the map, and I hope they add to the map selection really soon. Not to mention the giant-like dinosaur beast you see near the shoreline. Now this adds to the overall mystery of the island, and really makes you want to dig more for that lure, which doesn't exist right now, so I do hope they add that soon. Now there's one more thing that I thought was extremely engaging, and that's the banners that lie all around the place. Now these banners feature the top champion of the game, and shows the stat information too. This was a very nice touch. It really does engage you when you can go up to the banner and look and see who the top champion of the match is. It's really cool. Now there's not much more I could say about the world besides the fact that it's one of my favorite maps in the Battle Royale game genre that I've experienced so far. But there's no point in having a good map if the combat is no fun. So let's go over and see if the combat can hold its own compared to the other Battle Royale games. Combat is a very important aspect when it comes to the Battle Royale genre, and luckily the combat here actually isn't a letdown. It's the exact opposite. It's a very good addition to the game. The combat, gunplay-wise, is similar to Call of Duty and PUBG, but with the addition of abilities similar to Overwatch. Now, each character, which there are 8 of at the time of this video, each of these characters have a special ability, a combat ability, and a passive ability. Now, I'm not going to spoil all the abilities, so don't worry. I will save that for another video, but I will give you a basic explanation. Now, there are 3 classes of champions. You got your support class, you got your tank type, and you got your damage type. Obviously, the tank type goes in and tries to draw in as much fire as possible, while the healer is focusing healing, while the damage guy is trying to pick off the people he can. So it's just the basics. Tank, DPS, healer type of scenario. Now, besides gunplay and abilities, you have a utility item, which includes things similar to like item shield boosters and health, and much more. And you also have a grenade item that consists of frag grenades, ninja shurikens, incendiary grenades, and more. So combat altogether is good, but not perfect. But another important mechanic in Battle Royale game is the overall gameplay and how it feels and just the pace of the match altogether. So let's go ahead and talk about that. So like I previously mentioned, there is only one game mode in Apex, and it's a team-based mode with teams of 3. There is no solo mode, which is actually one of my negatives about the game, which I'll get into later. Now, just like any other Battle Royale game, you start off by finding a jump location. Well, here, it's actually done a little differently, and I like this change. It's actually quite intuitive. When jumping out of the plane, someone one person on your team is elected Jump Master, and when you are the Jump Master, that means you pick a spot for your whole team to land. The cool thing about this, though, is this allows you to actually control exactly where everyone lands as long as they are attached to you. If your teammates want, they can actually separate you by hidden launch solo, and you will be separated from the team and land wherever you want from there. Now, this really does encourage teams to stick together, right? This is actually a very surprising mechanic, and it's just really good for a Battle Royale game to have that I have not thought of before. Now, there's also one more unique little feature that adds to the gameplay and overall team feel of the game. That's the ping mechanic. Now, no more of having to worry about talking to people when you don't want to. If you're sick or have the cold or just depressed and don't want to talk to anyone, you can just simply look at an item, weapon, or anything else and hit ping, which for me on PS4 is R1. Now this will put that item on the other teammate's map and actually let them know that it's there verbally. Your character will say, hey, there's an item over here, there's a weapon, there's ammo over here, level 2 armor over here, etc. This is so sweet, and I can't thank Respawn enough for being smart enough to add this mechanic into the game. It's the first Battle Royale game to think of something like this, and it works so well. Now, you can also point to a location and hit ping to suggest to your team that you want to move out to that certain area. You can even go further and spot out enemies. This is so freaking cool. This is a simply genius mechanic, and it really does add to the teamwork aspect of the game. Okay, let's touch on the menu aspect. Now, this is very unpopular. A lot of people dislike the menu. In my opinion, though, it's not that bad. It gets the job done. It's simple to navigate, and it's really not too hard to learn. But it can be improved by a lot. This game isn't perfect, but let's go ahead and talk about some of the negatives of the game. Now, first off, I have had many crashes. This is the biggest issue. I've had many crashes. Way too many of them. Many times I'd be in the middle of a match, and it would just boot me out, sometimes 4 or 5 times in a row, and I'd actually just throw down my controller and give up playing for a couple hours. This is so annoying and is actually an obvious issue that needs to be fixed ASAP. But that's not all. There are some bugs, not many granted, but some, including hitbox issues and clipping and things along that nature, but it's really barely noticeable. Now, there might be more that I'll discover later. If there is, I'll go ahead and do a video on them, but really, it's not as buggy as you'd think a new Battle Royale game release would have been. Now, it's pretty impressive how the game is actually so smooth, and I really do like it. But another annoying thing is that I'm sure will change in the future is that you only have one game mode excluding the training mode. Now, I will go more in depth on a lot of the game in my review as well as tips and tricks videos. I have discovered some unknown hidden things that a lot of players don't know about that I plan to share in upcoming videos, so make sure you're subscribed if you want to see that extra content and much more that I have planned. Better yet, if you're not already, I suggest following my Twitter. You'll find it in the description below. Here I'll talk about what content I will be doing in the future, and actually I let my followers sometimes decide what I play and review and what kind of movies I look into and just all kinds of things. I just like talking to you guys in general, so make sure to check it out. I will also be making my Discord public for all to join soon, but if you'd wish to be an early member and be granted special access to private rooms and such, DM me on Twitter. I read all my DMs, so go ahead and DM me on there. Before I close out this video though, I want to say that Apex is an extremely fun game, and I highly recommend you check it out if you haven't yet. There's nothing to lose, literally nothing to lose, since the game is free. No PS Plus, no anything except Wi-Fi. But I do hope you enjoyed this video. I know this is a short one, but this is just like my basic impressions. You guys know how my impressions go. I barely give any information. I just go over how I felt about the game. I will, of course, have later videos coming out as soon as possible discussing tips and tricks, because I really do want to share some of the cooler things I found out about the game. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, I'm Sons of the Abyss Gaming. I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, I'm out of here. Panda. I got broads in Atlanta, just to lean the family, credit cards in the scammers.